play a game.
G'day viewers, everybody else is running the scenarios, so I'm going to do something different. Where are we? Brighton Mainline, the old home of Thomas, the London, Brighton and Southern whatever it was. Forgot what LBSC stands for. Don't shoot me. But we've got New Thomas, Old Thomas, New Thomas, what? Old Thomas. And we've got Clarabelle, Annie, Clarabelle, Annie, Clarabelle. Whoops, no, we got two Clarabelles in a row there. Ooh, wonder how that happened. Anyway, we've been sitting here for about 15 minutes, so the dispatch is probably a little bit tied up in knots right now. And we're out of here. We have a path. We're going to Brighton. We're taking off like bouncy bunnies. It just seemed necessary. There we go. That's a good distance to follow. Wait. Fine there. You do that. More juices. The DLC Holy Trucker is Thomas and a bunch of scenarios for the West Somerset Railway. We'll have a look at that when we get to the end. But we're going to Brighton because Thomas used to go to the seaside, and Thomas is going to go to the seaside. There's one of the trains we've been tying up for the last 15 minutes. Sucks to be you, Mr. 377. I thought about putting Diesel in the contest too, and then I thought about listening to Diesel for an hour and thought, nah, not doing it. We have in the chat Lord Vectron, Melbourne Train Guy, 480 Studio, Holy Trucker, Mark B, Lord Vectron, and that's it. Very good. That is a toy Speedo. It certainly is. It's pretty good though, you gotta admit. Oh look, a Gatwick Express. Gatwick versus Thomas. Who do you reckon's going to get to Gatwick first, me or him? I reckon he'll be passing us in about 10 minutes when he comes back. I'm surprised there's this few banked up trains actually, because I've been sitting there for a while because I wanted to make sure this formation actually worked before the stream. And it did. It moved 50 metres and I thought that's good enough for me. So, hello everybody. Hi, bad guy. Melbourne Train Guy says Thomas is older evil twin and his older brother's evil twin. What? We might even stop at some stations, but most of the time we're just going to go express, because why can? Just got to watch those signals. Because, you know, we're on a bit of a strange path here. Wait, look where we've gone. Excellent. There's no point being in here because you can't see a damn thing. LBSC Thomas. Bad guy says, probably should be in bed at 3 AM, but heard the notification and thought you'd pop in. Why not? Come and enjoy the fun of Thomas doing 50 miles an hour. Because for those of you who don't know, this was actually the original home of Thomas the Tank Engine when he was an E2 in the LBSC livery. The London, Brighton and South Coast, that's it, I knew I'd remember it. Hello JB, how are you? Hello AB. Does Rail Driver work with Thomas? No, Rail Drivers does not work with Thomas. You use a controller or your keys, because Thomas has a simplified control system, which for a old moron like me, I don't actually find simpler, but that's okay, I've kind of gotten used to it. But I've seen kids play this, and they get right into it, so no concerns here. straight through. I reckon we might stop at Gatwick. How does that sound? Oh, that's a good view, isn't it? Roof, roof. Never mind. So everybody else is running the scenarios, Jamie, so I thought, let's do something different. We'll take Thomas where he used to live. Oh, do you ever think you'd see that? Thomas passing a 377. I like it. $4.80 says the problem is I don't want a kid's toy for $25. Why is it a kid's toy? Why is it an adult's toy? You could be a grown-up kid, you know. I would actually like the steam system from Somers to be transplanted into the other engines because, to be honest, even though it's been dumbed down, it's actually more realistic than the other ones. Uh-oh, the 377's getting away. The hill's getting the better of us. Maybe I need more Thomases. I've only got 4. Tree Sim World. Yeah, that 377 has to stop somewhere. I tend to agree, Jamie. Thomas is for all ages. We're going to win. We're picking up. We're going to leave the 377 behind because it has to stop at the station and we don't. That's a bit... That's better. Until I hit some poor bugger's legs. I thought about hooking it up with Mark 1s, but that would have required a mod, and I thought, nah. Let's just take a lot of Annies and a lot of Clarabelles out for a ride by the seaside. Well, we're allowed to do 70 miles an hour now. I have my doubts Thomas is actually going to get there uphill, but downhill, sure. I would like to see some more friends of Thomas bad guy. I think that would be a really good thing to do. I'd particularly like to see James and Gordon. And Toby. Why not Toby? Toby's good. C says, who's dissing Thomas? Yes, them fighting words. Holly Trucker says, I'm that bored tonight, I'm choosing to watch Thomas while my PC is updating for the next 2 hours. I'm driving Thomas. Another Gatwick Express. When I was in England last time, I did sit by the side of this line down near Gatwick for a little while, and it is actually quite busy. I'll probably do that again on my last day because I'll be at the North Norfolk, and the next morning I'm flying out, so I'll probably head to Gatwick that night and stay at a hotel at Gatwick on the Sunday night, and then fly out the next morning because it's a bit of an early rise, and if I was still sitting over at where the North Norfolk is, that would be quite a trip, I think. I'm going over for the summer gala. Melbourne Train Guy says Thomas's or Thomas I? I'd go with Thomas's. Tree Sim World. Hope this isn't Gatwick. I was going to stop here. Hopefully we'll see British Ace standing on a platform waving his little paddle about somewhere. Actually, I think he works on the trains now. So we probably won't see him on a platform. Here comes another 377 over this side. So what do people think of the... Actually, I should pop up and go over this side where it's sunny, because everything looks better in the sun. What do you think of the new livery? Did some Googling. It's relatively faithful. And there would have been lots of them, so I'm quite comfortable in running 4 coupled together. Ooh, we have some against signals coming up, I think. Let's see if they stay that way. Oh no, it's gone green. Might be okay, might be okay. Let's get back on the juice. We'll see what happens. Bad guy wants to know how many more Thomases we'll get. I reckon there'll be more Thomases until it stops paying. So for as long as it's a commercial success, I reckon we'll get more. Oh, it's not just delivery, Amy. There's a bunch of scenarios as well, which I've played a couple of them, and they're actually quite good. It's good to see some people on the Brighton Mainline. Isn't it funny I slowed down for the curve? Amy says, uphill slow, downhill fast, tonnage first, safety last. That sounds like Thomas. That sounds exactly like Thomas, in fact. Ooh, it's always a bit weird when that happens. Holly Trucker says, hey, have you seen the awesome Train Tricker app free for TSW5? It brings up a map and tracks your train across the map in real time. That would be cool. I haven't looked at that. Is that on Train Sim Community? Friday Studio says, so what do we learn from this? Make Thomas and his friends route. Honestly, don't give us 6 trains. Make us spend $60 and you've got a deal. I reckon a dedicated Thomas route would actually be pretty cool. I reckon that would be fun. Particularly if there was more than one of the Thomas and friends available. Someone other than Diesel. Because Diesel's fun and all, but, you know, he's Diesel. We want more steam engines. I think we should probably stop at this station, don't you? I have to say the dispatcher coped remarkably well with me sitting in platform 17 for 15 minutes before I started the stream. There's not nearly as many backed up trains as I thought there'd be. So we can have a proper look while we're stopped. Should open the door, shouldn't I? Old Thomas, new Thomas. It's very good. All the Annies and Clarabelles have in fact opened up, which is excellent. And of course, if you were going to the Bluebell Railway, you'd change trains here. Let's get out of here, Thomas. Full fang. The carriages haven't changed, but yeah, we'll take a look at them next time we stop. Let's go for 3. Next stop for Thomas will be Gatwick, unless I get the station wrong. Jamie does like white wall wheels. They do look kind of cool. Ours come out with white walls sometimes when they come out of the workshops. Amy says Salford Station is quite fun for spotting near Gatwick. Get to see plenty of trains at speed, including the GWR turbos from Reading, Red Hill. I found a footbridge just south of Gatwick that was really, really good. You could get right next to the track. Hello, Anthony Struce. How are you? Already, you pay for delivery? It's more than delivery. There's scenarios as well. I'll show you those after we get to Brighton. Holy Trucker said, all the kids want a green Thomas now, poor parents. Oh well, that's part of being a parent. My kids have kind of grown out of Thomas. I showed them Thomas and they went, what? But you know, they're 28 and 30, so it's kind of to be expected, I suppose. They haven't had their midlife crisis and figured out that Thomas is fun. I am impressed that Thomas is maintaining 50 mile an hour uphill. It's kind of good. Here's another 377 coming through. Say hello. It's fair enough. As we head off towards Gatwick Airport. 480 says, I was considering buying this. I think it's worth the $10, mate. It's all good. Holy Trucker says, I wouldn't buy this, but if you dangled a Thomas route, I would buy it. Well, there's an interesting thing for Jamie to take back. Get a Thomas route going, and you've got a convert. Amy says, if there's some scenarios, that makes it more worth it. Avoided the Thomas story until Christmas and have a couple of days with my autistic brother. Yeah, it's a good plan. There are more scenarios with this one. They're all on the West Somerset, and it all revolves around Thomas's birthday party. And I have to say, I haven't finished any of them, but actually no, I finished one, but I've played them through about halfway each, and they're actually quite creative. So I think people will enjoy them. So we'll certainly have a look at those. I just want it to be a little bit different, because you know me. Why run the same thing as every other ambassador when you can do something a little bit different? Amy says, don't stop, it's Croydon, it's too dangerous. I've been to Croydon, I've changed trains there, it was fine. But then again, I come from a place a little bit rougher than Croydon. And I've lived in places even rougher than where I live now, and it's like, hey, you know. You become immune to these things. Whooshka. You know, I might even shell out the extra £20 and ride a Gatwick Express this time, just so I can experience what a red one feels like. No, I won't. British Ace has convinced me Southern is the only way to fly. Holy Trucker wants Harold the helicopter. I never quite understood Harold. Harold to me seemed just a little bit desperate. 480, so you know you have Tree Sim World, but normally I get Bridge Sim World and the cam gets pushed away. Yeah, that does happen. Or you smack your face into a signal. That happens too. 480 says, right, since we're here, we might import some more Thomases. More Thomases, now you're talking. I have a formation with 25 Thomases and one van. It looks quite funny. You have to do these things. We'll take a look at the carriages at Gatwick, which isn't terribly far away. We should be seeing planes soon. It's a shed! With some hoppers. The English call them hoppers. I think they do. We call them hoppers. I know Americans call them gondolas. But, you know, I don't think I'd want to float down a canal from Venice in a railway carriage. And that, to me, is a gondola. But each to their own. I'm scanning the sky for planes. Haven't seen any yet. Wait, made it. "33 miles to Brighton." I have to say, when I visited Brighton, I was a little underwhelmed, to be honest. I'm not going to bother going there this year, because I went there last year to meet up with Joe, or British Ace, and his beloved Amanda. Delightful people they are both. Very, very cool. And this year I'll get to see him at an event, so I won't need to go down to Brighton. Melbourne Train Guy says it's a very nice livery and the scenarios did look fun from what I saw on Hentis' stream, but I'm going to wait for Cargo Line 4. That's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because each person needs to make their own buying choices. And while it would be lovely to go out and get absolutely everything, I mean, I look at games that are around and I think, I'd kind of like that, but then I'd never buy them. Like Zusi. Zusi I'd kind of like, but, you know, I get enough smacked in the face with PZB on this thing. Do I really need an even more realistic PZB? Probably not. We've not a gratuitous bridge shot, don't we? We missed them. That's alright. 90 miles an hour, I don't see it for Thomas. Going down Cajon Pass, I've got him up over 90 mile an hour. Well, we better go inside for the tunnel. Bad things happen when you're outside in tunnels. Does he light up in the tunnel? Oh, he doesn't. .480 says it ain't realistic at all. Of course it's not, it's Thomas. How could Thomas be realistic? Holy Trucker says Thomas was fun when I was on the potty, but like the potty I left Thomas behind. Oh, Holy Trucker, that's so sad. You should embrace your inner child. Amy says it's supposed to emulate the physics of a DC model loco like Thomas originally was. This is very correct. You lived near Croydon for a while and spent plenty of time in it, it's fine. Yep, that's a good name for it. Fine. It's like where I live. Where I live is called Frankston. Google it. And I've lived on the other side of the city. I've lived in St Albans, which is a shithole, and Albion, which is worse, and Sunshine. Melton was okay, but these days it's pretty horrible. It was good when I was there. Grass Sim World. And we had, I think Taylor's Lakes. Lived in San Francisco. Vermont. I've spent enough time to New York to have actually lived there, but never have lived there. 73 miles an hour? Ooh. Brighton's not so far away at this speed. There's our gratuitous bridge shot. We got one. Excellent. I did chuck a little van on the end. That is true, Jamie. My first steam gala when I head that way. That's very true. I've never experienced one, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it'll be cool. I watched your video last night. What'll also be cool is at least spending some time with a person who knows a lot about the local area and the railway, namely Jamie. Here comes another big red sausage. They're not very friendly, the sausages. They never whistle back. Uh-oh, guess who left dynamic weather on? Rain for Thomas. But he barely misses the roof, and Thomas is short. I'm never going to see the planes that'll give me the clues for Gatwick. We're 85 miles an hour. You know what? I'm not going to stop at Gatwick anymore. We're going for it. We've reached 85 mile an hour. We're going full beans. Is that signal? Ooh, lightning! Fantastic for Thomas's birthday. A bit of lightning. Why not? Thomas is 80 years old. The 80th anniversary, which is actually pretty impressive for any story that's still part of everyday lives of so many people, let alone a kid's story that's part of so many people's lives. Watch out for that signal. Oh, fog machine's on now. I think Diesel's been here somewhere. This looks like diesel exhaust to me. Jamie says I know too much. Oh, I doubt that. It's like people who come to my railway. They can show me a picture of a tree or a rock, and more often than not, I can actually tell them where it is on the railway. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Caleb Keppel, hello. Melbourne train guy says $20 on one train. That's enough on your Mikey for the week. Through on the express tracks. Why do I keep ending up this end? By the time I get into the 8 camera, the train's already past me at this speed. 90 miles an hour coming up. Go, Thomas, go. I think your speedo goes to 76 for a reason. Still got steam though. Not a lot. I'm pretty impressed that we're actually making line speed. Keeping up with the timetables, it's pretty awesome. Nothing's exploded yet, that's even better. Amy says I'm still too far out for planes, and I'm glad that's not my signal. Double yellow. No, sadly we don't get Gordon, Caleb. I really wish we did. I would love to see Gordon, James and Toby in particular, because they're my memories from Thomas. Because naturally enough, when my kids started watching it, so did I. I'm sort of like some of the OG locomotives. Whoosh. 23 miles to Brighton as Thomas visits the seaside, which I'll be doing soon enough. Oh, I see some distant yellows coming. We're starting to slow down. We're losing a little bit of speed now that we're going uphill. We're just ignoring this station. We're going straight through Gatwick. Oops. Because, you know, we got this speed. We're going to keep it on our run down to Brighton before we have a look at the scenarios. Holy Trucker says, please remaster the East Coastway route. That would be cool, actually. It's quite a fun route, but it's a little bland. But that's actually really good for the people on consoles at the moment because they can play it. I know that there are absolutely people working on memory, track and shadows and the like. So there is hope on the horizon for the people who are suffering from memory exhaustion on the consoles. So be patient. There's definitely people working on it. Hopefully it's something that can get sorted out without too much of a loss of fidelity for everybody else. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Tomaseo, Tomaseo. That would have been a good spot for a rail pan shot, but I thought of that a little bit too late. Thomas and his rail tour, 20 miles out of Brighton now. With another 377. Ooh, that's violent. Whatever happened to the E for everyone, Jamie? I just got attacked by a train. Everybody saw that. Some Gatwick Express you are. Stopped in a platform. Actually, I think I changed trains on this platform. I remember that one. I had to change there because the train I was on didn't stop at Gatwick. And I needed one that did, so I changed over. Ooh, serious lightning. Amy says Zusi is fun when you get really into Zusi with external displays on old tablets. Otherwise you pick up TSW still. Yeah, I can see how Zusi could be fun, but you know, it's a little bit Transcend Classic for me too. I like the old girl, but she's had her day, man. She really has. Once you get used to graphics like this, and some of the other new games, like Subway Sim, it's actually hard to go back to lesser graphics. And it is a really big barrier for things like Run 8, because I hop into Run 8 now and I just go, this is awful, and I just quit. Even though I have dutifully bought every upgrade, I just don't play it. So I probably shouldn't buy it. That's life, isn't it? The great Annie Clarabelle Rail Tour. Oh, I forgot I said we were going to look inside the carriages, didn't we? There you go. Here's the inside of a carriage. Can I open that? Probably. Look at that. Can go inside. There you go. You've seen inside now. I'll see in there. Fair enough. I'm just keeping an eye on signals. There we go. Don't say I don't care. I've seen in the carriages now. It's a nice little guards van. I kind of remember that style of guards van from my first layout, which weirdly enough did have Hornby trains on it. Thomas, are you steaming through a tunnel? You know that's naughty. Hope the fireman's got the door shut. Is there a fireman? No. No fireman. Never mind. Naughty fireman. "16 miles to Brighton. We'll be there in no time at all." Well, that's a lie. It'll take some time. That's how it works. Melbourne says, pretty spry for an 80-year-old. Lord Vectron says, because everyone loves trains. Everyone I know loves trains, because they have no choice. I make them do it. Going downhill again, where he's heading towards the line speed once again. "16 miles to Brighton, and we'll head over to the West Somerset Railway and we'll have a look at some of the scenarios that come with Thomas. Tree symbol. Hugh Burke asks, is it wise to push an 80-year-old to this speed? Well, you know, 80 years, 80 miles an hour. Seems fair to me. Look at the little guy rock. Rocking and rolling. And those of you who remember that Thomas series, that was the first CGI Thomas. Rock and roll Thomas. Bad guy says a lot of stuff up to TSW4 works fine. It's the stuff after that that's the problem. Yeah, it is a bit. I think what happened was we've crossed a threshold into more realistic detail, which is kind of what everybody was asking for. But the challenge with everybody asking for that, and gratuitous bridge shot, as you do. Oh, hang on. Right, there we go. We know we need to do this. And manual focus. Good. Depth of field, focal point. We need a little bit more color, I think. It's unusual for this game. You need more color. Bit of vignette. And I think we might just go just a little bit over here. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That'll do. There we go. And of course, save and upload. Don't mind me, it was necessary. It was necessary, I tell you. Anyway, as I was saying, we've... Hey! Brakes! Brakes! Lots of brakes! All the brakes, Thomas! Come on! All the brakes! All the brakes! You need more brakes, Thomas. You're going to need more brakes than that, mate. We're going to spad in a second. No, I think we're going to be alright. We have some extreme deceleration happening now. It's so extreme that the digital speedo is not actually keeping up with the analog speedo. How dare you hold me up? I'm Thomas. Thomas always was a bit of an evil little engine, really. Mark B says, when my son was in hospital, he would demand Thomas, which meant all the other kids had Thomas too. Of course. Hopefully your kid's out of hospital and, well, Mark B. Holy Trucker says, do you want me to link you to the Third Rails train tracker app? Yeah, absolutely. Chuck it in the Discord. Ooh, Bing Maps. Ooh. I hope they've got source code. I'll fix that and use a real map. Oh, we're accelerating again. Loose couplers for the win. Who'd have thunk it that Thomas would actually catch up with another train? Who'd have thunk it? But there you go, we did. Come back, Thomas, come back! We've gone back to double yellows. Let's speed her up to about 50 and see what happens. Melbourne Train Guy says, sorry for the off-topic question. Does anybody know how many services the HKO Berkey Hopper Pack adds in the West Coast Mainline? That's aggregates, isn't it? We can have a look if you want. After this, but we'll do the Thomas scenarios and remind me at the end, we'll have a look. It's got some services of its own and it also replaces some other ones with aggregates instead. Hubert says, I love Zeusy for the prototypical way the signal lights set themselves. Light signals go through several cycles to reach a certain light state. Nice to see. Yeah, that's the old rotating disc style. These days with the LEDs, that doesn't really happen anymore. Hubert says, graphics are hard to live with on Zeusy. Yeah, they are. Aiden says, be careful, I heard there's a devious diesel, you know, up to no good. Of course there is. That's what devious diesels are for. We have diesels on our railway too. There's that rogue hopper that no one ever knows why it's there. It's just is. Amy says, well, my Thameslink journeys have an average speed of 35 miles an hour. Thomas was going to catch up eventually. They did have a 15-minute head start on Thomas though, so I'm kind of impressed that we caught up. Looks like we have, so let's take the speed up a little bit and see how we go. Got our last 12 miles. And a big burn. Doing well, Thomas. I'm sure you would have stopped for water by now in reality. Melbourne Train Guy says, will do with the PS5 gameplay pack, not only the cargo loan. I'm sorry. Any Carol Bell ban. Seemed necessary. How is everyone tonight anyway? Anybody else having a birthday? Even if it's just near your birthday. Sing out and I wish you a happy birthday. Going on a good little rail tour from the London and Brighton and South Coast Railway. Which these days people would probably call libsock. Melbourne Train Guy says, not a birthday, but doing well. Hope you are also. Oh, I'm doing okay. I still have my cough, as anybody who watched my cargo line video would know about. It got quite bad during that one. Ah, we're back to the double yellows. Newberg says no birthday, national holiday though, so a quiet neighbourhood. Very cool. Doing the time warp again. Back in the range. It's a good thing we're not in Africa. Nine miles to Brighton. Nice sounds over the points there. Still on the double yellows, so we're roughly maintaining our distance to the train in front. What I have to wonder is, are we going to see a green Thomas from Mattel now? That's the end of my lovely 18-year-old. That's something I didn't do in the UK last year, and go on a rampage of nice whiskies. We should do that this year. Bring a few home. I have no idea how I'm going to afford this year's holiday, but we're just doing it. It's already caused me problems with my bank because they saw my booking.com booking at a place near Jamie's Railway and went, well, that's clearly fraudulent, and blocked it. Good on you. Look out, Thomas. Bad City coming up. Holy Trucker says the King is only good for his birthday. At least it's a day off here in New Zealand. Ours is until June the 10th, I think. Isn't it funny how we all use different days for the birthday? None of them are right. Is this an approach signal? I'm wondering, because the one after it's green. Well, the one after it's red now. Yellow. Brady Studio says, Matt, give him a raise. I've had the opportunity to have a chat with Matt. He's actually a really, really nice person. And I do have to say that when things go wrong with the game, he actually takes it quite personally. And he wants to bring more, but I think we're starting to see the limitations of the engine and the limitations of where the game's up to. But you never know, somebody really clever might come along and do something cool. Melbourne Train Guy says, I have extremely weak willpower. I caved. Oh, you've gone and picked it up. Very good. Just got Thomas the Tank Engine you're installing now. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I take it that means you're on PlayStation. Because it won't be out on Steam for, about another 5 hours? Something like that. I think they actually have, Lord Vectron. They've picked up some new people. The character guy that's been doing all the work on people was an example of an import, and he's quite good. Anybody know what the track on the right-hand side is that's overgrown? So I remember seeing it in real life too, and I was kind of wondering what it was. Where did it go? Melbourne Train Guy says, yeah, PlayStation. Well, there's a good view. Not long to Brighton, then we'll go and look at the scenarios. Lord Vectron says, I always did that one. Problems with Soul will just need fresh eyes. That's quite possible. Because I know when Lucas came in, quite a lot of stuff changed quite a bit. Things like the mini-HUD. Lucas just did that. Just felt like it. So he just built it in his own time. Well, that was funny. Ah, it's the castle place. I like the castle tunnel. I was relatively amused to know that actually exists. Bad Guy says the problem right now is ever since Dovetail have been brought by their corporate overlords and Peter Jackson's left the company, they seem to have lost their way a little bit. Oh, look, I don't think I really agree with that, to be honest. I think they've actually done some pretty good stuff. But this memory issue, I think, crept up a little bit by surprise. I remember in Matt's last public discussion on it, he did reveal that not all memory is actually managed by Unreal, so they weren't really aware of this usage. And they've learnt some stuff, and they've been doing some work with some other dev studios who were trying to solve the same problems, essentially, in their games as well. Mark B says, I've never understood why NZ and other countries have a holiday for the King or Queen's birthday while the UK gives the bird or take the day off. Oh, hell yeah. Free day off. Absolutely. See, Aussies and New Zealanders kind of love their days off. We do love our public holidays. I think we've got 13 of them. The funny thing about it, Anthony, is that neither New Zealand nor Australia actually celebrate on the King's birthday. It's just a fixed day. I wonder if it was Queen Victoria's birthday. That's possible. June 10. Could look it up. Don't care. Doesn't worry me. Bad Guy says, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I preferred how it was and how it is now. I appreciate the extra detail, but it shouldn't come at all costs. So I do feel for the people on consoles and less powerful PCs. I don't feel so much for the people on Gen 8 stock because, you know, it is pretty old now. And expecting it to work for more than 10 years, it's a bit iffy. And it is 13 years old now for the PS4. Xbone, I think, might be 12, if I remember rightly. Might be the other way around though, those two. I'm not 100% certain on that. Almost in Brighton, you can smell the sea. Maybe lost a tick then. Twain! That's another Gatwick Express. And plenty of them today. Oh, I know, Mark B. I think it's good having the June day exactly where it is, because that long weekend is the Echuca Steam Show. One of the biggest in Victoria. Goldsmith, I think, is the biggest, but Echuca's pretty big. Back in the dark ages when I was a scout leader, I used to take my kids up there every year, and we used to do a camp with traditional camping methods and everything cooked over fire and amongst the steam engines. And naturally enough, at night time when the public was shut out, the kids got to go and play on the steam engines, which was always a bit of a cool thing. In one of the years they got a bit adventurous. They actually built their own station on a miniature railway, and I have to say the miniature railway people have a good sense of humour, because the trains actually started to stop there, which was kind of cool. Bad Guy says we celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday in May, usually the 20th. Bad Guy says the original Xbox One's ridiculously underpowered for what it was when it initially launched. Indeed, a bit like the S. It's a bit underpowered for what it is. It's time to start slowing down, because things get a touch unpredictable as you approach Brighton. And this thing does not have very good brakes. Accelerates like a crazy thing, but its brakes aren't anything to write home about. Oh, the 66 isn't there. There's often a 66 sitting back there for no readily apparent reason. Excellent. Just what you want. Let's try that again. That's better. On a bit of a roll into sunny Brighton. I had a couple of days here last year. I didn't get to visit the really cool toy shop though. The half museum, half shop, which I was a bit sad about because I spent the day out with British Ace instead, which was a lot of fun. Learned a lot about the local railways. Bad Guy says, yeah, the S is underpowered. It's still an amazing little console when you think about it. It is pretty good. I bought myself a second-hand S just to try and see if I'd actually play console or not, and I played it enough that I bought an X, and I was lucky enough to get the X in a dented box sale for about 2/3 of the price. So that went all right. Behold the vivid sunshine of the Brighton seafront. The day I arrived in the UK last year, it was like this. It was raining really heavily while I dragged my bag from the airport to the hotel near the airport, which I had booked because my original flight landed at about 9 o'clock at night, and I thought I didn't want to go and find anywhere then. I'll just go to a hotel near the airport. And then my flight got changed, thanks Emirates, and I landed there in the morning. But I was so buggered by the time I got there. I went to the hotel, I had a shower, I had to lie down for a little while. I went out, got some food, and then I went rail fanning on the Brighton Mainline, so still a good day. It's that one. Bad Guy says, I just bought an S because a buddy of mine had it and didn't want it, so I gave him $200 for it and all was happy. That's roughly what I paid for mine, I think. I actually bought it from a meth head that was looking for the next hit, but that's fine. The meth head sold it while his girlfriend sat there glaring at him, because, you know, clearly she liked playing it too. But that's okay. Clackety clackety as we come into Brighton. We're going into a platform, it'll be nice, go undercover. Always forget about the birds that fly around at Brighton. There it goes. Just posted the third rails train track app in the Discord, thank you. Maybe the coughing's because I'm allergic to water. I should just stop drinking. What do you think? Alrighty, we have arrived at Brighton. Well, let's go and have a look at the scenarios, and we'll see you again in just a moment, Thomas. So let's pop out. We'll have a look at Formation Designer as well. I mean, clearly you can use him in Formation Designer, but there's a bunch more combinations now with more troublesome trucks, I'm glad to say. So you can make a longer train. Less water, more scotch. Good plan. Good plan. I like your thinking, sir. Anyway, Creators Club, Formation Designer, and just say add new. Yep, new formation. That's a good name for it. Formation Builder, as though you'd be doing anything else in here. And we go, Thomas. There's a lot now, as you can probably see. There's quite a few more. So there's with brake vans, different coloured trucks. There's ones with 15 trucks now, which is good. So you can make up quite a long train. And when I built my Cajon Pass one, I actually put up a lot of trains at the top of the hill and shunted them together. But anyway, let's pop out of there. Let's go look at the scenarios that you get. And we shall just race off to the West Somerset Railway, to the trains, choose a route. West Somerset Railway, that one, and scenarios. Right then, still coughing my guts up. Great. That's from the last one. So problem to solve, also the last one. That's the fireworks. Diesel in distress, also the last one. Right. Thomas's special day. So this is where Thomas gets his new colours. Diesel's dilemma. Diesel is tasked for collecting supplies for Thomas's party, but the troublesome trucks have other ideas. Of course they do. Thomas's birthday surprise, which I played, and amusingly got a platinum medal, even though I did 50 mile an hour for the whole thing. Preparation work. So this is another one. This is just for, these are the normal ones. I don't think there's any more Thomases, so I think there's 3 with this pack. So let's watch the first one. I deliberately didn't play this one because I know what it does, and I thought we should all share it together. Amy got herself a glass of grenadine. Why not? Why not indeed? Not that I should assume that you're a herself just because you're named Amy. You could be in anything you want. Loading, loading, loading. Don't we all love a good spinning pinwheel of death? The carefully named Spod. Let's have a cat. Why not? Waiting for the Spod. Very good. Maybe is a she, her. Fair enough. I will be in the UK from about the 12th of August to about the 1st of September. I will, in my Discord, post a set of railways that I'm going to that I would not mind meeting other people at. Some of them I have already started making some arrangements to get onto the footplate. So on those ones, I wouldn't meet up with someone because it would be a terrible thing to go, hi, how are you? I'm just getting on the loco now. See you in a few hours. Because that's, that's not a cool thing to do to someone. But if anybody's interested in meeting up for a beer or just to ride the rails, certainly doable. Melbourne Train Guy says, Kronk, load the Spod. Well, the Spod is certainly loading and taking its time, and the little cat hasn't gone away. I don't know why the cat hasn't gone away. Why haven't you gone away, cat? Let's just reset you. Where are you even? You're a source in here somewhere. I know you are. Oh, there it's gone. Timer finally ran out, clearly. Oh, we've still got an accidental browser on. This is looking remarkably unlike the game's actually going to do anything. I'm beginning to wonder if it's still working. I mean, it was just sitting there for a really long time at London before. It's been a while, hasn't it? So do I kill it or let it go? What do you reckon? Kind of thinking kill it, because this is way too long. But we'll wait longer than this for it to load again, so... Let's see if there's any pop-ups or anything. No, nothing weird. I think it's climbed up its own bumhole. Well, I do think TSW might have died. All right. It's coming back. You'll see it in just a moment. There it is. New spod. There we go. Feeling stuck. Should have gone to the training centre. That's the answer. Mark blames the cat. Oh, poor pussy. It's because you made the cat go away. Could be. Could be. That could be the problem, couldn't it? Oh well. Here we go. We'll bring another cat over here. There you go. New cat for you. I don't use that one much. I don't have a button for Love Cat. Then, of course, there's... I can't remember what that one is. What's that one? Yeah, it doesn't show anyway. And there's that one, which is Party Cat. And there's Spad Cat. I like Spad Cat. There's Cry Cat. And I think that's about it, actually, for the cats. I don't think there's any more than that. I don't see any others. No, I think that's all of them. There are actually more cats from that particular Etsy artist that makes them, but I haven't got them all loaded up. 480 Studio says we need some different Dostos. We need a different freight engine too. All right. Hey, look, you can do it from Thomas and Friends. They did update it. Look at that. All right, we'll do it this way. This will work better. Thomas's special day. Let's load it in. Yep, Thomas's special day. English loco devised during the war goes straight to Germany.
Early one morning, Thomas the tank engine was waiting outside his shed at Minehead Station. He was very excited, as today was his birthday, and he was looking forward to the big celebration happening that afternoon. He was admiring the station
the fat controller.
when Sir Topham Hatt arrived. Good morning, Thomas, smiled Sir Topham Hatt, and happy birthday. I hope you like all the decorations that we've put up. We were worried you might have woken up early and spoilt the surprise. Thank you, sir, puffed Thomas happily. They all look wonderful. I couldn't think of better decorations to celebrate my birthday. Sir Topham Hatt smiled. I'm very pleased to hear that, Thomas. Just then, Diesel rolled into the station.
Dirty Diesel.
Diesel,
I actually
good
always
morning,
thought Thomas was the bigger asshole than Diesel, to be honest.
I've got a very important job for you.
Diesel's just not very good at his job.
An important job for me, sir? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, said Diesel eagerly. I need you to go and collect the furniture, more decorations and plates for the party. I've arranged for them to be loaded into the trucks, so they should be ready and waiting for you when you arrive.
Well, I don't call him the fat controller. I call him the fat cunt, the fat cunt, fat controller.
Okay, sir. I won't let you down. I promise to do my best. And with that, Diesel hurried away to complete his important job.
Off goes Huff and Puff.
Thomas watched Diesel go, and then looked back at the brightly coloured decorations. Suddenly, an idea flew into his firebox. As it's my birthday, sir, do you think I could have a new coat of paint?
Do you know, I've always wondered, if his face
Well,
is
of
on the
course
front,
you can, Thomas.
where are you sticking
Smiles
the
Sir
coal?
Topham Hatt. I'm sure they've got some blue paint in the workshop. Actually, sir, I was thinking of a different colour.
Purple!
Well then, what colour did you have in mind? Just you wait and see, sir. Thomas grinned and rolled back into the shed. A little while later, the doors
Wasn't he on the other
reopened
track? He
and
was,
Thomas
wasn't
emerged, a very different looking engine.
Fuck,
Sir
said the
Topham
Fat Controller.
Hatt grinned. I haven't seen you painted in those colours in a very long time, Thomas. You look just like you did when you first arrived on Sodor. It only seems right that you should wear your original colours for your special day. Thank you, sir. I thought you would like it, and I'm sure that the passengers will enjoy seeing them too. I'm sure they will,
So
replied
he's in
Sir
brand
Topham
new
Hatt.
paint, but he's dirty.
Now then, are you ready to get started with your work? We still need to make sure that everyone gets to the party on time. Yes, sir, puffed Thomas. We'll get going straight away. That's a good engine, smiled Sir Topham Hatt. Off you go then, and I'll see you at the party.
Topham Hatt
With
always
that,
goes there by
Sir
car.
Topham Hatt turned and walked away.
That is certainly possible, Lord Vectron. Lord Vectron reckons Blue Thomas is still in there hiding. You Merc's gonna go vacuuming. Very good. Must be time to wash your hair. Plonk. Let's go and get the girlies. Bonk.
Come on, you two, said Thomas to Annie and Clarabel. We've got to get to the station and collect all the people going to the party.
The pub I stayed at's not here. Well, that's uncool. Where's the pub? It's a great big pub, right there. Right there. Looking out over this area here. But no, it's not there. That's okay. Go to Minehead Shunt 2. Let's rock. Hey, C, how are you, mates? Why would you be sorry you're back? It's perfectly good to go somewhere else when you want to. I think we're stopping before the crossing, aren't we? Looks like it. as they say. Well, we've got the disc to go back. Very good then. Hello, Rails of Illinois. See, had to pick up your mum, take her for a haircut, then shops and back to mine. I didn't know that. You wouldn't catch me doing that for mine, but she's a bit interesting, so there you go. Looks like we're going all the way to the end, so all these people waiting, I'll just have to live with that. You missed out on the run to Brighton, see? We actually went so fast, we caught up with the 377. That'll do, little bumps. That'll do.
All aboard for the party!
Should probably open the doors there, no? Can you get losers? Oh, you want to look at the interior? Sure. No, maybe not. People are in the way. Let's try this one. You looked at the interior on the road before. Hello, Baldy. Not Baldy. How you doing? Yep, ready to go? Good. These ones are the same. A little spot here that's supposed to be a guards van isn't. But that's where it should be. And that's okay. It's Harry Potter! Where's your sorting hat? Oh, you've lost it, haven't you? I'm sorry. It's your own fault for wearing a turtleneck. There's only one thing worse than a turtleneck. That's a turtleneck with a ponytail. Ponytails are all the rage in West Somerset today. There's another ponytail man. Hello. Something wrong with your singlet. It's got a hole in it. Yeah, there's always got to be one who's going to be different, isn't there? Reese asks, is the DLC really worth the money? I know there has a preference on this sort of DLC. Look, if you like Thomas, then yes, I'd say it is. You get 3 playable scenarios that are basically stories. If you don't like Thomas, then probably no. It's probably not. But, you know, that's the way. It's not exactly expensive. It's quite cheap, in fact. It's about $14 for the Aussies. What, we go to Dumpster. Come on, Thomas, let's go to Dumpster Fire. Bye-bye, people who didn't get in. Next train's tomorrow. I don't think you can turn the lights on and off in the carriages already. Rail says the number 70 on Thomas's side was 70th anniversary railway series. No, actually it wasn't. The 70 on Thomas's is actually Thomas's original number. He was locomotive number 70 on the LDSC. I think I've even seen... I'm just going to be careful because there's some signal across. I'm going to have a look after that. Oh, is there a red signal in front of us? That seems a bit weird. Given it's a single track. Come on, Mr. Signalman. signal's mad at me for calling it dumpster fire. But anyway, while we're waiting for the signal, there it goes. Let me see if I can Google LBSC 70. It's 105. So this livery's been around before. So this is the... Let me show you the browser. Obviously something in real life, alright? So this is the Bachmann model. Thomas and Friends in Bachmann. But in real life, no, that's someone's fake one. That's what they really look like. That's 105. There's a photo of 100. Is there one of 70? It's the Hornby E2, number 100. Thomas versus the E2 tank. Yes. I'm not actually seeing one with a number 70, so... 32670. It's not the same logo though. No, I'm not seeing one with an actual number 70, but I believe that was Thomas's real number. So let's turn off the browser because that turned out to be useless. Alright, off we go. Whee! Rip it, son. Rip it. 17 was a real record, Miles. But it was probably chosen to represent Thomas in the 70s. Yes, we're speedy. This route is so slow, it does my head in. Glad you're speeding. My runway's got a top speed of 15 miles an hour, but I have to say the little narrow gauge 2.6 loco, it seems quite fast, especially when you're rolling into a curve. Because our curves are very, very tight. Prepare for a cutscene. Ask me how I know. No, that stop. That one. There we go. Pull up, Thomas. Unlock the doors. And you get everybody in. Yeah, everybody in. No cutscene. Cutscenes at the next station, maybe. Geez, Annie's looking kind of smug. Annie definitely likes the people inside her, that's for sure. There you go, Annie. There's another one. You'll be right, mate.
It looks like everyone is on board now, Thomas. Okay, Annie, let's get going. We don't want to be late.
Off to Blue Stanker. I wanted to go to the Blue Anchor Museum when I was there, but it was closed. Out of the way, cars. Down through. We're on our way to Blue Spanker. Do you know, Annie reminds me of a pacer. Bouncy bouncy. I wonder if Annie actually is a pacer. It does make me wonder. The wheelbase is not quite right, but it's far off it. Look at Annie bounce. Clover, on the other hand, is quite calm. I don't know, see. I reckon our carriages on one rail would bounce like that if we did 56 mile an hour. They're pretty bouncy at 15. Now riding at Blue Anchor. It's definitely pronounced for Thomas. It's quite hard, I suspect. That'll do, Thomas. That'll do.
It wasn't long before the three friends reached Blue Anchor Station. Thomas looked around in delight at all the brightly coloured decorations that covered the station. Just then, Sir Topham Hatt and Mr. Peters walked up to him. Hello, Thomas, and happy birthday. Good morning, Mr. Peters. Thank you. I do like your new paintwork, continued Mr. Peters. A special paint job for a very special engine. Thomas smiled, feeling very proud. I'm not sure if Sir Topham has already told you, but we've got one more special surprise in store for you, smiled Mr. Peters. Oh, thank you, sir. What is it? Both Mr. Peters and Sir Topham Hatt chuckled. You'll have to wait and see, said Sir Topham Hatt. But we do need you to go and collect it once Diesel arrives with the rest of the supplies for the party. Thomas was very excited and began imagining all the different things his surprise might be. I do hope Diesel arrives back soon, puffed Thomas excitedly. I can't wait to see what my surprise is going to be.
There you go. There's that one. If we continue, does it go to the next one? We've done that one. Diesel's Dilemma. There we go. Anthony wonders if the narrator pronounced Blue Anchor so
Diesel's
close together on
Dilemma.
purpose. Probably.
Meanwhile, Diesel had arrived at the station to collect the first set of trucks needed for the party. He was trying to be on his best behaviour and complete the job on time, without causing confusion and delay. Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me, so I must make sure I do this job well, Diesel thought to himself. He's given me this chance to prove I can be a really useful engine, so I must try not to cause any trouble. But Diesel found this harder than he realised. As he coupled up to the troublesome trucks, they began to giggle and sing.
Ah, look, it's the devious Diesel, but you don't look so rough and tough now.
Will you be quiet? Snapped Diesel. I am still tough, and I can still be rough. But Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me to deliver these goods to the party. So I'll have no trouble from you.
Oh, driver disappeared.
The trucks giggled and began planning their troublesome tricks. Diesel was glad when they fell silent. He thought he had them under control and set off, still hoping to get to the party on time.
Where are we anyway? Oh, we're going to go all the way down to the Y and turn around. Okay. That seems pointless. Let's do it. We got a green? I suppose we do. Yeah, we do. That's it. Choke him to death. I was kind of sad when I visited this railway that this track went all the way to the town and you had to ride a bus to get to the railway. Pete, hello. It's kind of an evening for me. What afternoon for you, sir? We're driving to Zeeb. Yes, it does sound like a ship one. But if you remember Diesel in the show, the bigger Diesel did actually sound like this. The wanker does sound like they knew what they were doing. Yes. I'm a wanker. None of this speeding, mind you, Diesel. No, must behave yourself, little Diesel. After all, we have to go all the way to the wire, which is oh so tedious if you do it at the right speed. So we're not. They should have put Diesel in the new livery too, I think. What do you reckon, Rails? Should Diesel have been in a better livery? downloaded the third Rails map. Their Holy Trucker. I'll have a look at it. But I don't think I'll try and install it live on stream somehow. I think that would be a little bit of a mischievous disaster, probably. Trucy. That's good. Oh, just right down there. There's the real railway over there. A little bit of a missed opportunity here to have some traffic on the main line. I didn't do that. Sadly. Down to these parts of the route, I think there's a Flying Scotsman thing that comes down here. So I don't think there's anything new that's opened up. We do see it in other activities. Whoa, I just realised that's a red signal. God, that close. You know what? Are we doing that again? No. Yeah, the triangle is used in some of the newer scenarios. The old ones, no, but the new ones, yes. We're going to run the last one now, which is Thomas going to find Diesel. Yep. Yep. Oops, hang on. Back. Thomas. 80. Come on. Thank you.
Thomas's birthday surprise.
Was so close too.
Down the line, Thomas was still waiting for Diesel to arrive with the rest of the party supplies. He was still thinking about his special surprise and was eager to find out what it might be. But Sir Topham Hatt looked concerned. "Diesel should have been back by now," he said. "It won't be much of a party if our guests have nowhere to sit and no food to eat." So he turned to Thomas.
"Get him, Tiger."
"Thomas, I need you to go and look for Diesel and make sure he hasn't run into any trouble. You can collect your surprise from Washford Station along the way." "Yes, sir,"
What's
replied
that?
Thomas.
See, you're going to play TSW? Really? Hey, how's
And
your car
he
going,
hurried
by the way?
away to find Diesel.
Thomas gets straight onto the chalk and off he goes. those things on my last trip, didn't I? Oh, alright. Back into the railway. Yeah, it's on sale on PlayStation. There's actually a fairly good sale on PlayStation, I think. Didn't someone post the list in my Discord, I think? Someone did of the stuff that was on sale. Because I don't see the PlayStation sales, so I never know when they are. No. I saw it posted somewhere. Oh, it's in the Train Centre Community. I've just been through the various Discords that would matter. No, I can't find it. CI says, I know shopping pro, that's why I'm getting a Melbourne Heart. It's a cheapskate. That's not a cheapskate, that's nothing wrong with waiting for sales at all. I encourage people to do that. If you can handle the FOMO, wait for a sale. Absolutely. It's all about handling the FOMO. Getting a bit so close to the station, Thomas, you've got to slow down, so they think you were going slow the whole trip. There is absolutely nothing wrong with looking at your money, mate. You've got a young family to think about. My family is older and self-sufficient. That reminds me, they all owe me money. It's time to pay the council rates. Go and get our surprise. Naverka Dresden, $14 Australian. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's not a lot of sales on PlayStation, but when they happen, they're usually actually better than the Steam sales. Make sure I don't stay up too late today because the garbage trucks come at 4:30 in the morning.
Soon Thomas reached Washford Station, and he saw the station master was there waiting for him.
Dun-dun.
Hello, Thomas. I've got something special for you here, but don't ask me what it is, as I promised Mr. Peters that I would keep it a secret until the party.
I can't wait to see what it is.
£24
And I'm
would
sure
be
my driver
very
can look
close to
after it whilst we're
$50,
on
yeah.
our journey.
Collect the surprise gift from Thomas. Okay. Gee, I wonder what's in this cake-shaped box. What?
Now we need to keep looking for Diesel. He must be around here somewhere.
Why didn't you see him on the way in, Thomas?
If you're looking for Diesel, I saw him over in the sidings, although he looked to be a little upset. and was in quite a hurry.
Bad Diesel.
Come on, driver. Let's take a look and see if he's still there.
Righto. No worries, Thomas. Let's back it up. That'll do, Thomas. Go set some sidings up. Go there. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. There we go. Let's go smack into Diesel's head. Oi! Oi! What are you doing, Thomas? I'm sure I set those points. What happened there? Not going to slow down, Thomas, or you're going to smack into his face. Chap was $60. Yep, that would be about right.
There you are. Diesel, what are you doing hiding there? You're supposed to be at the party delivering all of the supplies.
Well, I was giving the troublesome trucks a tug.
I know, Thomas, said Diesel unhappily. But I can't let Sir Topham Hatt find out what happened. It wasn't even my fault anyway.
Why? What happened? asked Thomas.
Well, the trucks were singing and being troublesome, and I tried to make them stop, so I... Oh,
My board of
actually, I
storminess
think
suggests there's
maybe
going to be
it was my
storminess.
fault. I got annoyed, so I bumped the trucks to make them stop, and I think I bumped them too hard, because I ended up breaking all the plates needed for the party.
And then I spattered.
Thomas listened carefully. He could see how upset Diesel was, and how troublesome trucks could be. So he knew that the broken plates were not all Diesel's fault.
Never mind, Diesel, said Thomas kindly. After all, they're only plates, and they can't all be broken. Besides, we still have a special party to go to.
Diesel looked at Thomas and smiled. "Thank you, Thomas," he said. So Thomas coupled up to Diesel and the two engines travelled to the party together.
trucks, giving them a good tug. Let's go full fang, Diesel. Show what these trucks were about. Scare the monkeys out of them. Brass ones. Sorry for the yawning, it's been rather a long day. I've been up since 5. Off we go to Blawenka.
When they arrived, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for them. Diesel was still upset, so Thomas tried to explain what had happened.
I'm very quiet, am I?
Sir Topham Hatt thought for a moment and turned to speak to Diesel. The broken plates may not have been entirely your fault, Diesel, but you shouldn't have tried to hide. It's always better to admit your mistakes rather than trying to cover them up.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir,
said Diesel sadly.
I just wanted to show you what a really useful engine I can be. But I messed things up again.
And his eye rolls.
Now don't worry, Diesel. Broken plates are easily replaced.
People can just eat with their hands,
the rest
it's
of the
fine.
supplies, the party can truly get started. It wasn't long before the station platform was covered in tables, chairs and balloons. Thomas and Diesel looked on as Sir Topham Hatt stepped forward in front of the crowd to make a speech. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank you all for being here today to help us celebrate a very special engine. I met Thomas many years ago when he first arrived on Sodor, wearing the same colours as he's wearing today. Despite his eagerness and sometimes cheeky behaviour getting him into trouble, I don't know what we'd do without him. As it is his special day, we have one last surprise. Everyone watched as Sir Topham Hatt placed a brightly coloured blue box on the table. When he removed the wrapping, Thomas was delighted to see a beautifully decorated cake. So please join me in wishing Thomas a very happy birthday. Everyone clapped and cheered, and Thomas looked on smiling. Oh, thank you, everyone, puffed Thomas proudly.
Why are we in there?
This is the best birthday an engine could wish for.
Well, there we go. That's the new Thomas thing minus my spad, which is a pity because you actually miss what the trucks do, which is actually kind of entertaining, to be honest. So if you're getting it, play through that scenario. If you're not getting it, go and find one of the other ambassadors that's played it. I think Hentus ran it earlier. Oh, look, I've had rough coupling. Uh-oh. Have I? No. Even though I've got the coupling markers on, I don't have any rough coupling. That's okay. But, yeah, look, I think if you like Thomas, that's worth it. It's cheap. So, yeah, it's good fun. It's really the scenarios that you're paying for. Although the engine is kind of cool because now you can run it on the Brighton Mainline, quite legitimately. And I did. I was thinking about loading it up with some Mark 1s to do that run with, because you would have seen those things running with coaches. I don't know if they were actually Mark 1s or if they just like the Mark 1s, but I've seen photos of it with them. And they ran singles and double headers, and they were quite the beastly little engine. I imagine they're a bit of a rough rider, though, because they're an 060, and 060s tend to waddle like ducks. But anyway, I think that's it for this evening. So we will be back on Sunday morning. I'll probably have another crack at that East Coast Mainline timetable from the community. We'll see if that actually works. If it does, great. Actually, let me just have a look and see if it's got an update. Let's just have a quick look at the Train Sim community. In fact, why don't I just bring this over here, because this is a good resource for people who are on PC anyway. I'm sad to say, console people, tough titties. Not much I can do about it. And let's choose the right one. Where are you? You're not there, are you? I'll have to, hang on, let me close that. Go into the properties window, choose that, go into that, close that, and then turn it back on again. There it is. So this is a good resource, trainsimcommunity.com. Nothing to do with Train Sim Society, which is the knobsbanker named Pixelade in disguise. But anyway, if we have a look at stuff, so Train Sim World, and there's obviously other games supported on here as well, we have got timetables. And let's see if the East Coast Mainline ones had an update. No, it's still only a V3, so we probably won't run that because it hasn't been updated yet. Hopefully Andy will get it working. But there's a lot of other things here, so there's a lot of cool stuff. I did download that other mod, so the one he was talking about, which is the map mod. So there's quite a lot of different timetables for different routes. It's worth having a look at if you do play to some PC. It can breathe a little bit of new life into stuff. Rapid Transit one's actually really cool. I had a crack at that one the other day. And there's lots of other stuff in here too. So for all sorts of games, all sorts of things, get into it. And if we go back, and go back. There we go. This is the third rail tracker that Nibs was talking about, and it shows your vehicles on a map, but you can see the other people that are playing too. So there's the various people playing. You can look around at what they're doing. So if other people are using the map, which is kind of cool. It's got a logbook. Hope that's local. Ooh. Oh, it's got a little overlay. And you can overlay it on the game. That's interesting. That could be cool for streaming. We can see where we really are on the map. That could be quite interesting, actually. So I'll bung that on, and we'll see how well it works. I assume it's using the API, which I didn't think was actually released. But anyway, that's fine. That'll be fine. What could go wrong there? Nothing. Perfectly good. Alrighty. Well, have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves, and we will see you on the next one, which will be Sunday morning. Oh, that's right. You wanted to have a look at the West Coast Main Line HKAs, wasn't it? Let's go have a look. And you won't see anything you shouldn't, because I've got nothing installed that you shouldn't see. Oh, look. Spodtown. It's having a spotting good time. That's better. All right. West Coast Main Line. Oh, not that one. It's the other one, isn't it? It's West Coast Main Line South, I believe. I think I'm choosing the right one. And timetables, we want the 2024 intermodals, and we want the 66s. And we want intermodal. These are FCAs and FKAs. Which one did you want? You want, so HKAs you wanted, so you actually don't want intermodal, you want aggregates. Oh, that shows you FKs. Oh, there. FKAs, there we are. I think that's one of them. So there's 4, basically, of the FKAs. Let's just quickly run one of these and make sure it's what I think it is. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Pete. Have a lovely afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is for you today. I think these are the hoppers. No, it's an intermodal. I'm thinking of the wrong ones, maybe. Smiggers. What the? Is that a substitution or what? That's a bit weird, because that was an HKA, wasn't it? I'm sure that's what we picked. We've ended up with something else. I think it must be a substitution. It says it's an FKA. Weird. Let's try another one. Go back to the timetable. Can I go back to the timetable? No, I can't. Let's have another quick look at the timetable. God, that cat's still going. Fine, leave it. She's pretty speedy with all the stuff installed, you got to admit that. So let's look at the original timetable and see what it's got. HKA. So there's a lot more on the original timetable. Let's see if these ones work. So on the 2024 timetable, there's 4, and at least one of them's substituting for an intermodal for no readily apparent reason. And on this timetable, are we getting hoppers? Yes, we are. So there's lots and lots of them on this timetable, which is much better. There you go. Lots of them. Alrighty. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll think of something. It'll be exciting. Maybe. But anyway, enjoy. It won't be Thomas, I'll tell you that. Have fun, folks, and we shall see you later on. Bye. Bit more cat. Different cat. See ya.